Having your own money gives you a choice, and the reason I'm saying that is simply because you get to choose who stays in your life and who doesn't stay. And while doing that, you shouldn't abuse the freedom of choice simply because it will change the dynamics of people around you. It will change the dynamics of everyone in your circle, from your parents, friends, relatives. You get to choose, or you have a choice to interact and also mingle with them from a place of choice, not from a place of survival. Because most of us are in survival mode when we don't have money. But as soon as we start having money or start making money, we start to reveal our true colors, because we are now in a state of choice, not from a state of survival. Because someone who's in a state of survival, it's someone who's just struggling to live, living from hand to mouth. But someone who has money has a choice to decide whether having to be surrounded and also being around certain individuals, it makes them better, maybe make them feeling good, or in whichever ways you can try to express or even explain it. But the point that I'm trying to deliver to you today is that having your own money, especially as a man, it gives you a choice to walk away from relationships that are not even serving you, to walk away from friendships that are not even beneficial to you. Because if you are still surrounded by people who are not pushing you towards the direction where you will feel proud of yourself in the next upcoming years, why bother keeping those kind of people? Do not mind if I'm still looking down, because there is something that I'm trying to write I'm trying to note here. But back to our point, having your own money gives you a freedom. It gives you freedom of choice, getting to decide what you want and also what you don't want. But if you don't have money, you don't have those choices. You're not even important in our society. Not only in our society, in your own family. Because if you don't have money, it's tough out there. It's tough to be who you are meant to be. You cannot fully express yourself. Even when you have to do something, you have to consult with other people. But if you have money, other people consult with you. That's the difference. And for you to actually get that freedom of choice, you need to work your ass off. You need to put in the work each and every day of your life, whether you like it or not. Because if you're not putting in the work, how are you going to experience the results of having to have the freedom that I'm talking about? People who have made money, they can actually relate to my point or my message, because they have experienced that. Remember, while trying to make that money, you have to understand that money is very spiritual. It is very sensitive. You need to be in a state where you're able to deserve money. Not physically so, but spiritually so. And why am I saying this? Is simply because most of us, when we're still trying to make the coins, and we fail to make the coins, we feel like we don't even deserve money. But the reason why you're not deserving money is simply because you are not where you're supposed to be. Mentally so, spiritually so, physically so. Most of us cannot even handle money, because the minute I have money is the minute that I change. That's when I start to change. But for you to start making money, you need to understand that money is very spiritual and it is very sensitive. You have to be clean, not only clean, spiritually so, but you have to be in tune with the character. I'm not sure the habit or the character or the behavior that will change how you see money, how you handle money, how you attract money, because it goes a long way. People think that having to make money, it's all about luck. Yes, luck it is there, but 80% of the time, it is not actually luck. It's someone who is very strategic. I can still recall those moments when I wasn't able to make money, and I had to step back, and I had to learn so much from what I was not trying to learn. I was very naive. I was resisting to learn not only about money, but learning in how I should handle myself when I have money. Because money on its own, it is very spiritual, as I've already said. It has the power to change someone, it has the power to elevate someone, it has the power to change the energy in the room, to influence whatever happens around us. That's the power of money. But if you don't understand what I've already explained to you, that money is very spiritual, you have to be at a certain point where you're able to deserve money, not only deserve money, being able to preserve and also multiply that money. That's when you can simply say that I've mastered the finances, or even the aspect of finances in my life. And it doesn't stop there, it goes a long way. You need to preserve that money for the longest time. Not only am I saying that you should be saving that money, no. What I'm trying to explain to you is that having to make money, bro, it goes a long way. I'm not sure if I'm putting it right. Most of us tend to abuse this freedom. As soon as we start making a little bit of money, we start to think that we are owning this world. No, there are people who have way a lot of money than you, who have made a lot of money at your age, but they are still humble. They are still whom they were. And why is that? Because most of us were never taught or even prepared on how to handle money or even finances. Because the minute you have money, you feel like now you own this world, you can do whatever you want. Yes, you can do whatever you want, but you don't own this world. There are people who have way lot of money than you, and you should remain humble at the very same time. You should be aware that as much as having to make that money, next thing, even tomorrow, you might not have it. And what happens to the friendships and also the relationships that you have built along the way off of trust, loyalty, and also honesty. But here you are, you change, your money has changed you. But I highly believe that money doesn't change a person, it just show us who you were, who you truly are. But if you don't have money, you don't get to experience that, because you don't have a choice. You are operating from a level of desperation, from a level of survival. Because most of us, that's this current state that we are living in right now. But as soon as you start making a bit of money, you start to come out, you start to change from who you were to whom you are supposed to be. And I can say that having to have your own money gives you a choice, as I've already said, that it gives you a choice to choose who stays and who doesn't stay in your life. You are no longer operating in a state of survival. You are operating in a state of choice. You are operating in a state of abundance. And that's what I truly want for every one of us, to thrive, to be the best possible versions of ourselves, not to be desperate for money, not to do things that are not actually aligned with whom we are to get the money. Yes, you can get the money. There are so many ways to get money, to make money, or to earn money. But truth of the matter is that along the journey of you making money, or along the process of you making money, are you losing yourself, or are you becoming the best possible version of yourself? That's the real question that you need to start asking yourself as soon as you start making that bit of money. And throughout the course of making that money, you have to understand that money is very spiritual, more than what you think. Money, it is energy. For you to be able to make money or even attract or earn money, you have to be in a state of deservedness. You have to deserve money before you can earn money. You have to deserve money before you can make money. That's the whole point of me doing this YouTube video. I truly understand that wherever we're coming from, we were never taught financial literacy. And with my message that I'm trying to deliver to you today, it is just a summary of the financial aspect of your life. I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot tell you what to do with your money or what not to do with your money, but I'm here to just share my personal experience when it comes to finances, how I've been in the right race, and how I'm managing, not how I've managed, but how I'm managing to break the cycle, the right race cycle, to be on the first lane. There are books that I highly recommend each and every one of you can actually read. Yes, they've been recommended by many gurus, financial gurus, but for me personally, I feel like you also need to read those books. And the reason why I'm saying that, it's not because you're going to learn money lessons. No, you're going to learn how a person who has money handles themselves, and you can actually copy that. Books like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and there is a book from one of our South African renowned authors by the name of John Tibane. There is a book that he wrote, it's called Taboo Think. That book teaches you how to think. It teaches you how to handle yourself as an individual, how to think outside of your box, not only in regards to the finances, but your all aspects of your life. You learn how to handle yourself along the process of making money. You learn how to handle yourself in a society. You learn how to handle yourself in wherever you are in your life, regardless of whether you are college, you graduated from college, you are working in a job, you're just trying to find yourself, you're just hustling, whatever you're doing. Those books are one of those books I would highly recommend for you. And of course, I've wrote books myself, which I've already published 4 books. But the one that I highly recommend I will recommend for you, it is my upcoming book titled To the Leader in You, which I'll leave the link to the book on the description box. On that note, I'm not sure if you are getting some sort of value in what I've already shared with you on today's video, but if you're doing so, please let me know in the comment section on what value have you picked out, or also what you have been learning from the message that I've delivered to you today. Remember, money is very spiritual. You have to understand that for you to actually start making money, you have to be clean, you have to be pure, for you to be able to deserve money. Change your habits, change your mindset, change your daily routine, because the reason why you're not making money, I can tell you, is arrogance, it's being stupid, it's being lazy. And we need to start letting go of those kind of habits, because they are the ones that are holding ourselves. They are the ones that are holding us back. It's not someone out there who's holding you back. You are the one who's holding yourself back, and you need to start shaping, because change starts from within. The change that we're seeking out there is already within us. We just have to be aware. We just have to be awake. We just have to find it on our own. And the only way to go about doing that is to have a student mentality, a mentality that allows you to learn from the others, a mentality that allows you to learn from the next person. Because if you say you know everything, but you don't have money, you don't know everything. If you knew everything, you would be absolutely rich. And I'm in a point in my life where I feel like I still have a way lot to learn, and I'm doing exactly that. I'm learning each and every day of my life, where I'm going through a journey of self-awakening. I'm learning a lot from myself, not only from myself, I'm learning a lot from others who have walked the path. Hence, I'm recommending books like your Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, To the Leader in You by me. So throughout the process of having to discover yourself as a man or even as a woman, you learn a lot about people, a lot about money, a lot about yourself. Throughout that course of learning, you have to put your focus not only in the destination or even the outcome of what you're trying to achieve, but put your focus in those small habits, those daily habits, which will allow you or even push you towards a direction where you see yourself at that destination. You see yourself arriving to those goals that you have set for yourself. Those are some of the things that you start to realize when you start working on yourself. And I'm in a journey of having to discover myself, becoming the best possible version of myself, and I've learned a lot from myself and also from others. And I would highly recommend you to actually learn a lot from other people who you feel like they have walked the path that you are about to walk. Others who have done what you're about to do. Remember, to be at a point where you've never been before, you must be willing to do something that you've never done before. There comes mentors, there comes your life coaches. If it means having to pay those people to be where you want to be, do exactly that. because I've already done that. I'm still doing that. I'm buying books, I'm buying courses, I'm buying this, I'm buying that, I'm paying this for this, I'm paying this person for this, and it's actually yielded very good results because I can see the outcomes of me having to do what I had to do. Those are some of the things that I wanted to delve into on today's video. Please do make sure you do like, subscribe, and also comment on the comment section. On that note, I will see you guys on our next YouTube video. This is your boy Duncan Mnisi. I will see you guys on the next one.